Lego Star Wars, the video game, because Lego Dougal don't exist. So why not make a video game based on one of the most popular Lego licensed releases? I mean, it went so well the first time. Developed by the sick freaks behind Sonic 3D Blast, Traveler's Tales had a vision for Lego Star Wars, being a retelling of the prequel trilogy in a family-friendly Lego style. Of course, to get the most out of this experience, it helps to be a fan of the source material, and as cool as it was to introduce myself for the past 27 years as a guy who's never watched a Star Wars movie, I can tell it's time to change that.
Hi, I've never watched a Star Wars movie, and now I'm wearing socks!
Unfortunately, there's only so much I can understand from Google searches, so I'll concede and watch the Star Wars prequel trilogy.
I lost my only quirk for that.
I don't think The Phantom Menace is that bad, it's just boring and unnecessary. I feel like you could have summarized important plot points here in 10 minutes and include that in the next one, which is already pretty forgettable to me. Attack of the Clones is just decent with some heavy-hitting scenes, but Revenge of the Sith, oh boy, this was a good one! So thankfully, now I can finally understand what I'm looking at here.
Oh, graphics.
This had every excuse to be a cynical cash grab. I mean, Lego Star Wars, the video game. It's like Shrek Twinkies. And you're telling me this was meant to tie into the theatrical release of Revenge of the Sith? 2 months later? You could have known for months ahead of time exactly what was gonna happen in the biggest movie of 2005. Well, damn, rip my tickets up, I'm good now. But see, even though this could have easily been a rushed, soulless product, booting this up, you can instantly notice a tremendous leap in quality from previous Lego games. How impressive. Looking back at those experiences, Lego Star Wars is a much more traditional video game by comparison. You go through a level, defeating enemies, solving some puzzles. It's very simple, but not brain dead, and that's a big deal. Because this game isn't just meant for whoever thinks this is gourmet. Morons. It's meant for everybody. Anybody of any age can pick this up and enjoy themselves, right alongside another player whenever they want. Because Lego Star Wars has co-op. Drop in and drop out co-op, to be exact. Another player can just pop in on a whim and leave without screwing anything up. It's really handy and feels so natural. There's not much to learn here. This is a game where you mash all the buttons for 5 seconds and immediately understand all the controls, which makes this perfect for families, siblings, friends. If you aren't lonely, you finally have it all in an experience that feels just as Star Wars as it does Lego, which is impressive considering on the surface, it almost feels like the Lego branding is kind of superfluous here. Yeah, there's Lego pieces all over the place, but the game isn't super focused around using your imagination or custom building things. Sometimes I've thought, if you're gonna make it a Lego game, why not make it to the point where the game mechanics need the Lego branding at their core? Now, even visually, like most of the environments here barely have any Lego incorporated into them. But does any of this really matter? Do we really need this to be more Lego than it is? Because honestly, the game does more than enough with the Lego aesthetic. You can break so many things in the environment with bricks flying all over the place. You collect Lego studs as a currency. You quickly put together Lego pieces to create useful items. And on top of all of this, this game utilizes the Lego branding's greatest strength. They won't say f***. That's what I think Lego best brings to the table here. The tone. It's a completely family-friendly Star Wars experience. Sure, most of the movies are already PG, but what if I'm giving up sci-fi action and violence for Lent? Well, Lego Star Wars is rated E for ever see a Lego intentionally kill prisoners of war? Nope! With how much this franchise appeals to everybody of all ages with its constant depictions of dismemberment, I think having more of a G-rated option out there is important, and theming it around Lego makes it entirely natural. If this was just a Star Wars game where they gotta keep it clean, it would kind of feel like censorship. But Lego Star Wars revels in the fact they have to recontextualize scenes for kids without cool parents. They don't try to explain around any changes. Like, they know you know they can't show certain things because it's Lego. So they make the most of it, which fits perfectly with the humor throughout the rest of the experience. I mean, that tongue is right in there. And the decision to have none of the characters speak helps the humor thrive that much more. I mean, everybody respects comedy like this because it's completely universal. It's timeless. Yeah, you may not be busting a gut at it, but it's so charming and pleasant and enjoyable, especially if you're a fan of the source material. The way the cutscenes play out, It honestly feels like how you'd retell these movies if you were playing with the actual LEGO Star Wars sets. And oh my god, there's so much to collect and chip away at. Over 50 characters to play as, unlockables, cheat codes. Damn it, they did it! I may have said Lego Island was the perfect representation of Lego in video game form, but Lego Star Wars was the perfect Lego video game. It utilizes both franchises superbly with a gameplay formula that, while quite simple, it's actually good. It works. Prior Lego games appealed to kids. This appeals to everybody. And I think this is the blueprint that should be used for 30 more games. You know what that means?
Lego The Hobbit for 3DS!
After the success of LEGO Star Wars, TT Games became the main developer of LEGO games moving forward, utilizing the same core formula for most releases. Now, just because most of these are cut from the same cloth doesn't mean they don't try to up the ante with each subsequent title. For example, the next game, LEGO Star Wars 2, features the... oh god. Well, that was way better. This game covers the first 3 Star Wars movies. The last 3. The best way to describe LEGO Star Wars 2 is better LEGO Star Wars. The quality's been bumped up a notch with bigger levels, better cutscenes, more humor. The gameplay variety is far greater, and numerous tweaks and improvements that we can customize our own LEGO character. Finally, it's Star Wars my way. I'd say if you have any preference between these two, it mostly comes down to which movies you like more. Because objectively, LEGO Star Wars 2 is pretty much just more LEGO Star Wars, but better. Well then what the hell does that make this? LEGO Star Wars The Complete Saga from 2007 expanded upon and combined the first 2 games to create the ultimate LEGO Star Wars and LEGO Star Wars video game. They did a great job with this, as it doesn't feel like 2 games in one. It genuinely feels like one massive experience, which is why this is often considered the best LEGO game. I mean, yeah, kind of a boring pick for best LEGO game, don't you think? 2 already beloved games brought together for a big-ass mega game? Like, yeah, of course that's gonna be the best one. Do you think Laval's Journey stands a chance after this? But hey, I can't keep acting like the Complete Saga isn't the best of the best. Hell, just the fact it's on the HD consoles is reason enough to pick it up. Even though LEGO Star Wars 2 was already on Xbox 360 a year prior. Hey, if you only played the first 2 games on, say, GameCube or PlayStation 2, the Complete Saga was only available on the new 7th generation consoles at the time, so all's good. You get the 2 games, upgraded on newer hardware. But for the sad sack who bought LEGO Star Wars 2 on 360 just to get this game a year later on the same system, name something sadder. Damn. But I do think if you just played the first 2 games and not the Complete Saga, you're missing out. Like, they added my favorite setting in the Star Wars universe as a bonus level. Hinsdale, Illinois. They updated the hell out of the LEGO Star Wars 1 levels. There's this new multiplayer battle mode and over 120 playable characters, including, oh my god! What? LEGO Star Wars 3 followed in March of 2011. Yeah, LEGO Star Wars 3. You do all the movies in 1 and 2, so what's left? Lots. This is based on the Clone Wars TV series from 2008. Listen, no disrespect to the show or anything. I've never seen it. I've seen Manimal. So keep that in mind when I say there's just a certain aura about this that makes me not give a single damn about it. It's like if they made a LEGO Indiana Jones 3 and it was based on the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles, or if they did a LEGO Harry Potter 3 and it was based on that Cursed Child stage play. Like, yeah, you can do that. These are legitimate parts of their respective franchises and stories, but doing a LEGO retelling just feels like we're milking it at this point. Like, oh, we need to do a new LEGO Star Wars because those sell. Well, we could do the first 2 seasons of the Clone Wars. It's like it's not even the full series. Feels like an excuse to make a new LEGO Star Wars, not a reason. I definitely need to see the show to get the full enjoyment out of this, because while I'm currently playing it, yeah, it's fine, but I am on total autopilot at this point. When I look up any particular LEGO game online to just see what the general consensus is. Pretty much there will be a huge crowd of folks saying each one in particular is the best LEGO game of all time. Listen, I understand. I'm gonna come across different opinions everywhere I go. I mean, I've been to your family's Thanksgiving dinner. Damn. But every LEGO game, I see people say, oh, this one, it's a masterpiece. The other ones just don't have the same magic. The magic being this one released in 2008, and this one released when you had to start paying taxes. I genuinely feel like most of it has to do with nostalgia and your attachment to the source material. Like, there's literally nothing LEGO Harry Potter could do to make you like it more than LEGO Star Wars, other than be Star Wars. This game is fine. They added an option for normal split screen. They no longer have the level creator, but like the opposite of this. It's not like I used it all too much, but it felt so perfect for these LEGO games to include level editors. But hey, you gotta get your priorities straight if you're looking to pump these games out quickly, with the next one releasing 2 months later.
They can squirt these out in 2 months? They're putting pregnancies to shame.
LEGO Star Wars The Force Awakens.
Look at this shit. Why is my eye doing that? Why is it doing that?
I am so tired. Based on the flick from 2015 and releasing in June of 2016, this made sense at the time. I mean, we hadn't seen a new LEGO Star Wars since 2011. Considering all the games that have released since then, this is a pretty substantial upgrade, and sure, you could have waited for this new trilogy of movies to wrap up to then make a LEGO Star Wars game based on all of them, but with The Force Awakens being such a momentous return of the Star Wars movies, it only felt appropriate for it to mark a similar return of the LEGO Star Wars video games. So good on you, LEGO Force Awakens. You validated your existence. When you can't sleep at night trying to find a purpose in life, just remember, this game did. Not anymore, though! Laying all the LEGO Star Wars out next to each other, this one stands out as quite possibly the most skippable entry. I mean, they really had to stretch the content of this one movie out to build a full video game out of it, which was definitely handled better than the LEGO movie game, but still leaves this one feeling a bit less substantial compared to the other titles. However, I do find this entry to feel decently fresh, all things considered. The spectacle alone does a lot of the heavy lifting. I mean, look at everything flying around, all these effects, all this action. This feels exactly like a blockbuster movie without fingers. There's multi-builds now. Certain piles of Lego bricks can create a variety of different structures depending on which direction you hold while you put them together, which does introduce some new types of puzzles. You might have a few options of things to build with your pile, and sometimes you need to construct them in a certain order for a mechanism to work properly, so you might need to tear them apart and build something else first. I will admit, at times, it's a bit more tedious and annoying than fun and engaging. Like, I'll see some buildable bricks and go, oh boy! And then it turns out to be a multi-build.
I used an old boy on that.
I do appreciate the addition. It does help to mix things up, so I don't mind it. It's just not all too exciting and can slow things down to a crawl at times. Unlike the other new gameplay addition, the shootout sections. Damn! Who needs dopamine when you have LEGO Star Wars The Force Awakens? These are kinda cool, but it's not like they're cool in their own right. They're cool because they're in a LEGO game. And they're pretty brain dead to get through, so it's not like they even matter all too much, but it's good to just have something to break the monotony of the LEGO gameplay. At least that's what my doctor told me. This is an above average effort, released at just the right time when a new LEGO Star Wars hit the spot. Plus it's real polished, fleshed out. I think my only major issue with this one is the source material. Being based on one single movie does hold this one back a bit, and with the next LEGO Star Wars adapting all 9 movies, it just makes this stick out as non-essential. I mean, I never hear anybody talking about this one, which doesn't mean it's bad. I'd actually say this is one of the higher quality LEGO games of the bunch. But that could be true of a LEGO Big Stand too, and you still wouldn't give a f***. The source material matters. E3 2019. LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga was announced. A brand new LEGO Star Wars experience covering all 9 Star Wars movies releasing in 2020. That is one weird-ass way to say 2022. Multiple delays occurred here. Years went by without any major new LEGO game. This was unprecedented, unhealthy. So much so, the stock market declined. Yep, this is why. I guess DT Games bit off more than they could chew here. I mean, 9 movies makes this about 3 times bigger than most movie-based games they've made. So if any game was gonna throw them off the rhythm, it was this one. Plus, Plus, they were using this brand new engine of theirs, and the game itself was the biggest leap forward for LEGO games we had ever seen. Nearly everything had been redesigned from the ground up. New combat mechanics, a new camera setup, deeper gameplay systems, incredible graphics, and even more content than any LEGO game had before. LEGO Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga was the most ambitious game they ever conceived. It takes a lot of guts to commit to a project like this, and even more guts to actually deliver on it. Wow, that is a lot of gore. Yeah, even after such a tumultuous development period, the Skywalker Saga reviewed and sold so well. This was like the definitive LEGO game. I thought it was an incredible achievement and celebration of the LEGO series, pushing it forward by honoring its past. An unbelievably high quality product. It's great at everything, especially being a disappointment. You know, when I first saw Skywalker Saga, I thought it was an amazing package, and even when I wasn't really that into the LEGO games, I still respected the hell out of it, as it seemed like the ultimate love letter to LEGO Star Wars. However, now that I'm more privy to what made this franchise so beloved to begin with, I now see a game that's the ultimate love letter to Star Wars, not LEGO Star Wars. This is jam-packed with everything but fun level designs. You know, it's like they spent all their time on making the menus cute, and then they went, oh fuck, there needs to be something in them? That's a bit harsh, because playing through this, I wouldn't call it bad, but compared to something like the complete saga, or hell, even Force Awakens, these levels have so much filler to them, and they're still so short. Now, they look more impressive and engaging, but so many of them boil down to just following characters, going to waypoints, not doing anything of note, really. It's like they used this camera angle, and all of a sudden they had to mimic the worst parts of every modern third-person over-the-shoulder action-adventure game because of it. And honestly, the over-the-shoulder view, while it looks bolder, it lacks the identity of previous LEGO games. Now, it just feels like any other video game. But hey, they didn't forget their roots here, because Mumble Mode is a feature, removing the dialogue and bringing us back to the classic style we all love. I hate the classic style I love. This is honestly pathetic. I mean, props to them for implementing this. It shows they really have listened to fan feedback, and they do care. But this is nothing like the classic LEGO cutscenes. Look at LEGO Star Wars 2. The cutscene is designed around the fact the characters don't speak, so they have to mime jokes and convey what's going on without dialogue. Here, Mumble Mode just dubs over cutscenes created with dialogue in mind, so it's just complete nonsense. It's like if you're playing a LEGO game with voice acting and you wish it were like the older titles, well, just mute the TV. There, problem solved. That's Mumble Mode. It's a cute concept, but there's no value to it whatsoever outside of it being a nice sentiment towards fans on the surface. And this is the kind of stuff that leaves me conflicted with this one here. I can't understate how polished and well-crafted this experience is. You can tell the developers are so damn talented and poured oodles of love and care into this, and they made a good game. It's just not much of a LEGO game to me. What I've come to really enjoy about these titles isn't really the focus here. They wanted to lean into things that are a big deal in other games, like deeper combat, and I'm like, this doesn't matter at all. I appreciate them trying to change things up, but I'm not going to this for good combat mechanics. It's like they're trying to be something they aren't. And I think covering 9 movies really forced them to cut some corners with the levels here. Like they just had to go bigger and bigger and bigger with everything that I kind of lost focus. Yes, this is an impressive package, but it's not as good as the third-person action games they're trying to go toe-to-toe with, and it's a lame-ass LEGO game, so jack of all trades, master of none. Damn, wasn't expecting to become a LEGO purist, but here we are. I'd still recommend this as a cool experience, but man, I'd say even Force Awakens was a better game. So as it turns out, you do have value after all. While Skywalker Saga was a success, its development definitely had problems. The new engine they were using just made things too complicated, numerous people left the company, and reports of crunch and mismanagement were abundant. Wait, this game had crunch? And they took 3 years to make it. What the hell kind of business were they running in like 2011?